Hello.
I'm Brittany,
I'm Carissa.
and today we're doing TV shows that we get way too emotionally involved in. That's a long title.
This all started just last night. See, Brittany kind of has a hard time falling asleep most of the time, and so she decided that how about we just watch TV for about an hour before we go to bed. And Shop was on, and an hour turned into about 2 hours.
Coincidentally,
And we had to turn off like right away before the next one started because we knew it would turn into
we knew
3 hours.
that we would just keep watching it until 2 in the morning, and Carissa had a lab practical this morning that she had to go to, and she would have been extremely tired, and she then would have blamed it on me, and then we would have gotten in a fight because she would have blamed her bad grade on me if she had got one because she stayed up too late, and it would have just been a big mess.
Slippery slopes. But anyways, it's like we don't even know anything about cooking really. Like, meh.
We
And
don't
we're
even know half the ingredients.
Nope, but it was just like, oh my god, like look at that presentation. But you know what? I don't feel like that fits. Like I kind of see like the concept she's trying to do, but I just don't feel like it's not unified. And just like look how good that looks. But
We act like we know what we
yeah,
don't know.
exactly. We just get very involved.
So
And at the end, it's like she deserved it.
we already knew who was leaving because we
Oh,
were like,
yeah.
that's who we would have voted off.
Yeah.
So it's only natural that that's who the judges vote off too.
So
Would you like me to go first?
why not?
Okay. My first TV show that I get way too emotionally involved in is One Tree Hill. Now, for those that don't know, that has Chad Michael Murray in it, and he's an attractive guy. And now this is really bad, and I hate to admit this, but I watched all 9 seasons within the course of 2 months here at college.
She sure did.
I was kind of depressed first semester, and I watched Netflix. Bad idea. If you're coming into college, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't use Netflix. It's bad.
It's
Really bad.
It's evil.
It's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea.
Yep.
Anyways.
My bad experience with Netflix was Grey's Anatomy. See, I've been watching Grey's Anatomy since I was about in 7th grade, and yes. But then I restarted, I started from the very first episode, and I watched 3 full seasons, and it was just like, right after class, like, just one, and then turn into another one, and then it's 8, and it's an hour-long episode, so I literally spent 8 hours watching that freaking show, and I would get so, like, wrapped up into it.
She cried.
Like, I'd be like, oh my god, like, McDreamy's confessing his love to Grey.
She cried.
And just, like, it's just not fair. Like, he still kind of has feelings for his ex-wife, but not really. But he's just trying to, like, keep it going because, like, he wants to maintain a marriage. But then he loves Grey because he just has that connection with her. It's just too much. Now, every time I hear, what's that movie? Chasing Cars, or that song. Every time I hear the song, Chasing Cars, I will break down and cry. Because that was how, the 2nd season ended, with that song playing.
So now she's completely emotionally involved with the song as well.
Yes.
It's bad news. My second show is a show called The Lion Game. It's an ABC Family TV show, and it's slightly corny, I'll admit it. And it doesn't have the best acting, I'll admit that too. But there's something about the storyline that just gets me with these 2 twins that didn't know each other, and they just found each other at like 17 years old, and they're trying to figure out this big, huge game of what's wrong and who's actually their parents and why someone's trying to kill them. I just got really involved. I hadn't seen the show in about 5 months, and finally they started coming up with episodes again because they had a big break, and I was obsessed all over again. So it's just one of those shows for me.
Next one is one that is kind of a newfound one, and it's Doctor Who. At first when I watched it, it was like the very first, like the brand new season, I was like, this is the freaking dumbest thing I've ever seen. But then, it wasn't until like the season finale when Rose, looked into the TARDIS, and then she, obtained, the entirety of, the TARDIS's powers, and she had the universe, and she was able to change everything. And then the doctor was like, looks like you need a doctor. I'm like, this is the cheesiest shit I've ever seen. But then he kisses her, and then he takes over the power of the TARDIS, and he has to die, and then he turns into David Tennant, and I'm like and then and then the other one when Rose had to she is trapped from the doctor, and she's always trying to get back to him, and Rita's And like there's like it's like they're just standing there, and she's like, "I love you," and then he's about to say, I'm getting goosebumps right now, like not even joke, and he's about to say like, "I love you," but then like it disappears, and I just bawled my eyes out. I still miss Rose. It's just.
Now to the next one. Now, I am aware, yes, I know you're going to say this, that it's not a TV show. And it's not. But it is the best book series, movie series,
Everything.
ever. And it is Harry Potter.
Yes.
Now, I love Harry Potter with the extreme passion. It is so strong in my heart that I watched the 8th movie this past 2 weekends ago now, and I only watched about 25 minutes of it, and it was the big fight scene at the end, and I swear, I almost started crying. And I've seen it several times, and I can't tell you why, but it's just one of those, it's my childhood, and for those of you who have grown up with that series, it's your childhood. Like, my brother read those books to me when I was too small to read them myself. It has a place in my heart. It's a story about
And the movie for me is Les Miserables. And I could probably talk about this movie all day. But this video is already kind of long, so I'm just going to save it. But just this movie has changed my freaking life. It's just like the best thing. And now I'm reading the book, and it's just like, it's taken over me. I want to name my kid Marius. Everything. And now every time I go into an empty lecture hall, I break out. Empty chairs and empty tables. I'll leave it at that.
Alright. Well, that concludes our TV shows that we get way too emotionally invested in. Whatever. Goodbye.
Toodaloo.